Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me today. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm trying to figure this out. It's No Makeup Monday. Happy No Makeup Monday, everybody. Hello, Maria Joy. I am going to take this because I'm thirsty. I'm sitting on my couch today. It's the first day of spring. Happy spring, everyone. As you're joining, let me know that you're here so I can say hello to you. I know it's been a while since we have connected, and I apologize for that. It's been a crazy 10 days. That is an understatement. That's for sure. So it's the first day of spring. I'm back in New York City. I just spent the last week in Florida. For those of you who don't know, I'm not sure how many of you don't, but I'm pretty sure most of you do. My dad passed away on Friday, March 10th. I'm wearing his New York Giants shirt that I confiscated, but I also bought for him for one of his birthdays, so technically it's mine anyway. We just came back from celebrating his life, and what a profound thing it is. And when it's, we've all been to funerals, right? We've all been to, celebrations of life, and we've all been to, the super sad ones where you're crying all the time, and the tragic ones. Hello, Michael. And all the stuff. And I have to honestly say that I am speechless. I'm speechless, which never happens. With the amount of just love and support and well wishes or good wishes and prayers and condolences and all the stuff that you guys have been doing over the last 10 days to keep us afloat, really. It's incredible. It really is incredible. And I want to tell you a little bit about my dad's funeral because it was like nothing I've ever been to before. And that was pretty much the sentiment of anybody and everybody who participated with us over the last several days. So, my dad passed last Friday, so it was a week ago on Friday, and it took us a week to... Hi, Joy! Mwah! Thanks for being here. So it took us a week. We had family coming in, and we had to go down to Florida, and so we decided to, push it off a little bit so everybody could get there in time. And there was a snowstorm happening in New York, and some of our relatives were coming. Yes, that's right, sir. From the north. And so we had to deal with the snowstorm thing too. So we decided to wait a week. And so we did his wake on Thursday, and we did his funeral services, his church services on Friday. So we had several days to prepare for this. And my parents have lived in their community in Florida for 33 years. And they moved in 1984, and I was in the 7th grade. I was almost 12 years old when we moved. And we moved from Westchester County, New York, where my father was a police officer. He worked for the NYPD. And he was a huge New York Giants fan. And he had season tickets and all that fun stuff. But they moved to Florida in 1984 in search of a better quality of life for us kids and our family. And they moved to a super, super small town called Palm Coast. You should look it up because it's a fun, cute little town to visit. And raised my brother and I there. And I, went to college and moved away. I came back to New York because this is my home. And my brother decided to stay. He went to college and went back to Florida. And he has built his family and his career and his life in Flagler County. So we, needless to say, know quite a lot of people in town. When we moved there was only one traffic light, and now it's like the suburbs. So we know a lot of people. And, when I go back to town, I try to see some friends, and I hang out with my family, but I'm never really in town long enough to know how many people actually have interacted with my family. And my mom used to work for the sheriff's department, and so she knows a ton of people too. So they're pretty active. And my brother's involved in charities and education and all that kind of stuff. So I have a very active family in that town. So when my dad passed last week, quickly news spread, and there could not have been more people to offer us, their homes for relatives who were coming in to visit and to be there for my dad's funeral, and sending over food and flowers and just offering their support and help, and how can we help you in any way that we can, or whatever it is that they were doing. It was just a marvel to witness and to experience. My dad served in the U.S. Army in Vietnam in the late 60s, and so he had a full military funeral. And clearly, if you're watching this, you are friends with me on Facebook. So if you haven't watched the videos, you should, because they are moving and they're unbelievable. I'm telling you, I was speechless at just the way the flowers looked and how everything looked. And my brother and I, we were with our mom. My mom and I went to do the flowers on Monday, and one of my, former boyfriends, his parents own one of the local flower shops, and my mom wanted them to do the flowers, and they did an unbelievably beautiful job with that. But after that, we went to the funeral home to, finalize the services and take care of all that stuff. And my brother and I, in true Rizzo fashion, we're walking through one of the rooms, and we were like, my brother says, "Oh my God." And he's good friends with the funeral director. He was like, "Oh, this would be a really good place for a bar." And then we both just kind of stopped. And I'm going to actually get up and walk away for a second, or I can take you with me with my phone. And then we decided at the last minute that we were going to have a bar at the wake. And so we did. We had a bar for my dad at the wake with beer and wine and vodka tonics. And so everybody got to toast my dad. And I can't find the koozie. Oh, there it is. And then my brother decided, I'm going to go and call a friend, because he knows everybody in town, and I am going to have koozies made. And so we did. And so here they are. It says his name on it and his date, and he was a huge Giants fan, and he's got his Go Big Blue on one side. And then the other side says, life should not only be lived, it should be celebrated. And so we had like a 4-hour wake for him, and we boozed it up while we were there, and nobody got silly and nobody got out of line. And it was super touching, because so many people hung around. We had, I think, over 200 and something people, close to 300 people signed his book of service. So there were a few hundred people showed up. And, we were all standing around with our koozies and our beers and our wine and our vodka tonics, and my Aunt Gail was there. And it was really an opportunity to, instead of sit there, like how you go to some funerals and you're at the wake and you're just sitting there and you're like, everyone's sad and they're crying and they're, reminiscing, but there's not a lot of laughter. This was the exact opposite. I mean, there were definitely tears, don't get me wrong, but hi, Aunt Gail. But there was a lot of happiness in that room, and there was a lot of celebration in that room, and everybody just hung around. I think it just made everybody feel like, well, we can hang around here and we can talk about it and we can, continue our lives. And I think he would have appreciated that. So it really was amazing. And so that was the wake. So the wake was a bar. We had the full bar service, and everybody had a really good time. And then the funeral was, my mom was a member of the Flagler County Sheriff's Department for many years, and so they sent an honor guard to stand over the casket at the wake while he was resting and everyone was visiting. And then at the funeral, they were the pallbearers. We had 4 of the Flagler County Sheriff's Department, their police officers, be my dad's pallbearers, which was really lovely. And because she also knows the people at the fire department, and it was when we laid him to rest on St. Patrick's Day, the entire fife and drum band came and played their bagpipes. Michelle Coletta was also there. And it was so moving and so beautiful. And I could not be, really, I mean, I could not be any more speechless, and I could not be any more in awe of the celebration that we had, and I don't even know. It was really good. And I feel like that's how everybody needs to be celebrated. Everybody needs to have a bar at their wake. And everybody needs to be telling funny, oh, there's my niece. I love you, my niece. How come you're not in school? Who also, my niece did a beautiful eulogy to her grandfather and had everybody on the floor in a puddle crying. So Caroline, you win the prize for that. It was really just a beautiful celebration of life. And so I actually gave a eulogy also next to my niece, Caroline. And I wanted it to have a message. I didn't want it to just be, look how sad we all are and we're going to miss him and all that stuff, and talk about the life that he had, because he did have a good life, even though I don't think it was long enough. The life that he had was good. And I felt like I needed to have a message in there. So I spoke in the first half of my eulogy about my father and what he meant to us, and all of the beautiful words, a lot of the beautiful words that our friends and family had been sharing with us throughout the last week and throughout the years and that kind of stuff. And then I decided that I need to talk about something about how important life is. And so I talked about being present. And I hope that the message got across. But my message really was talking about taking in the moment and really being present in your life and being present in the decisions that you make and listening to the people that are around you and talking to you. Because we get so hung up very, very quickly, especially this day and age, in holding our phones and pushing things off and saying, I'll get to that later, and, ignoring our kids. And we're all guilty of it. I'm guilty of it too. And so my message at my dad's funeral was, I want you guys to really pay attention, and I want you to be present, and I want you to celebrate your lives and celebrate your life while you're living, and enjoy the people that are around you and appreciate them. You don't always have to agree with them. You don't always have to, get along with them, but you should appreciate them, and you should appreciate everything that they are trying to do for you, or the things that you're learning from them to do or not to do in some cases. And I think it kind of worked. I'm pretty sure I had everybody in tears, right? Emily, Caroline, Aunt Gail. But I really just wanted everybody to know that we could not have been more thankful for the support that we received over the last several days. And I wanted everyone to walk away with a message, because I think he would have wanted that as well. So that was my experience of my dad's funeral. And now it's kind of weird. And my mom is doing amazing. Like, she's really doing well. And I think that we have to, thanks. We had to give her a lot of credit for being really strong. And I was a little bit scared, and I was a little bit nervous about, how she was going to handle all of this. And she did beautifully. I mean, of course, we all had our moments, and everybody breaks down, and, they were together for 55 years. And so that's a really long time to be with somebody. And, they started dating when she was 15 and he was 16. So it's a lot. And now she's alone, but she's not really alone, because she's got a huge network of friends and people who will support her and surround her and keep her active and her spirits up. And my niece and my nephew were there, and they're going to call grandma every day, just like we all are. And we're going to make sure she starts traveling and living her life the way that my dad would have wanted her to do it, and not sit around and wallow in misery, because, they have a beautiful home and they live at the beach, and lots of people will want to go visit her. And she has beautiful grandchildren and kids that she loves and adores. And so we're all in this together, I think. And that's our job. It's our job to keep everybody moving forward. And it's our job to be present in one another's lives. And it's our job to continue to live our lives as part of his legacy, and to secure our own with our own families. And it just makes my heart happy that there were so many people there to celebrate his life with us. Because even though, death and funerals and that kind of stuff is a time of mourning, I didn't feel sad. Is that weird? I didn't feel like gut-wrenchingly like this is the worst thing that ever happened to me. I felt like, oh my gosh, we're so blessed to have had the time that we did and to have the people in our lives that we do. And that's the truth. He will be missed greatly. That's definitely for sure. But not in a way that is going to cripple anybody. I think we'll keep talking. Like Will, my husband, Will was like, oh my God, could you imagine if your father was actually at his own funeral? He would not shut up about how great the funeral was for the next rest of his life. He'd be like, oh my God, there's a bar. And oh my God, they had all these flowers. And oh my God, they felted the flag for me. And oh my God, look at all this stuff they did. And that's how I want to be remembered. I want people to remember me with a bar. I want koozies at my funeral, everybody. Pay attention. Write this down. I want people talking about, you know, how fun and what a great life I led and what I did for my kids, and be surrounded by people who we have not seen. I mean, there are people there that I have not seen in literally 28 years. And they showed up. And that is a true testament to the people that, you know, they chose to surround themselves with. And I think that that is a great testament to my parents. I think it's a great testament to myself and my brother and to our family for, even though we're not always together all the time, we come together in times of celebration and I hate to use the word mourning, but you know, in sadness, but we're all there for each other. And that is a very, very special thing because not everybody has that. And that's what makes me sad, because when you don't have that, you're missing out. You're missing out on so much fun and beautifulness and greatness and emotion and laughter and all the stuff. So I'm going to tell you that today, on the first day of spring, I don't even know what today is, March 20th. Happy first day of spring. My message to everybody on Friday was to be present in your lives. And my message to you today is the same thing. And it's really just be grateful. Be grateful for everything that you have. And even though sometimes it can be really shitty, you still have it. And you're always going to be able to get through it. As long as you surround yourself with all the right people and the right support system and you have the right mindset to get through it, you will get through it. And that was also part of my conversations with my mom this week as we were trying to figure out what the next steps for her are going to be. But she's going to be okay because she's got all of this around her. And she's got, look at all my cousins who were at my dad's funeral are here. Hi, everybody. I love you guys and I miss you so much already. But she does. She has a really, she's got a lot of good stuff going on, my mom. And she's got a lot to live for. And so be present in your lives and be appreciative of what you have. And, you know, the small stuff does not matter. So stop nitpicking at the stupid shit and pay attention to the stuff that really does matter. And keep in touch with people. I mean, I know we're all so far away and we have this lovely thing called Facebook and you guys get to see me talk to you all the time. But do it. Like, stay in touch and keep in touch and, you know, try to be in each other's lives, even though we are so far away from each other, because we're really not that far away. And it's a true statement when people get in cars and hop on planes to make sure they're there for you, because that happened for us and it was pretty special. So this is my thank you to our family and our friends and to this amazing community that I have built on Facebook and my friends here who couldn't be there, sending us texts and messages and private messages and notes and pictures and sharing your stories of your experiences with my father, because I don't know all of them, right? I mean, he was a great storyteller, and but I haven't lived in their same town in 20 years. And so going back 2 or 3 times a year and only getting to see him and my mom, you know, 4 or 5 times a year, you know, isn't really a true reflection of what their life was or is, because I didn't get to be there day to day. And, you know, I know it's hard even if you are there day to day, because we have our own lives and our own kids and our own stuff. And nobody begrudges anybody that kind of thing. It's just how life goes. I don't regret not being there. I wasn't there when he died, but I did have the opportunity to speak to him just before he went in to have the procedure that he was going to have. So I did get to tell him, that I loved him and all that stuff. And Elias got to tell him that too. So I don't feel like I missed it. And I know that there are some people out there that probably don't get that chance. So I'm grateful that I had that opportunity. And that's it. I'm happy that I got the 44 years that I got with him. And we always wish that we could have more, and hold on. And we will talk about him for the rest of our lives, and we'll show our kids pictures because they're old enough to remember him and tell stories about him and continue his legacy, which is always a beautiful thing. And so that's it, my friends. I'm back. Thank God. And I'm sleeping in my own bed, which, by the way, is way more comfortable than the bed at my mom's house. No offense, mother. But I've missed you guys, and I'm so glad that I'm back. And we have a lot of really fun stuff coming up at Why Am I Yelling for the rest of the month. I'm actually heading to Texas on Wednesday. Dana Burnworth, if you're still watching, I hope you're feeling better. And because, get ready, the girls are coming to town. Doing some book stuff with her. I'm very excited about it. And that's it. So we'll be around for the rest of this week. I'll be live streaming from Galveston and Dallas as the week goes on. I've never been to Texas. I hear it's hot there right now. So I'm bringing flip-flops and tank tops, and that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys all had a great St. Patrick's Day. I'm sorry I missed you guys so much last week. It was a little bit hectic. I tried to hop on a couple times, and it just could not happen. So thank you for your love and your support and your well wishes and your condolences and all the amazing outpouring of love. We felt every single one of you, and we appreciate every single one of you. And this is why I do what I do, because I need to have all of you in my life. And that's really the truth. I'm going to let you go now because I've been rambling for, I don't even know, probably 20 minutes, which is silly talk. And I'll talk to you guys later on this week. Have a great one, everybody, and be present. Don't forget that message. I love you. Mwah.